Welcome back to Mae Sot, Thailand on another sunny day. I guess it's Friday, June the 5th today, and I'm on my way to the Borderline Cafe Collective for lunch again. I had a really good lunch there a few days ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And at that time, I joked that I could work my way through the entire menu. So I guess today I'm going to go back and try menu item number 2. And I actually found the menu online. You can find the Borderline website online pretty easily. And then they have a kind of a high quality set of pictures of their menu. So you can actually see some of the things available there. And I definitely want to try all of the salads because last time I was there, I was so taken with their Shan potato salad or Shan style potato salad. I think that's what they call it. And so I think I'm definitely going to have another salad today. And I might start at the very top of the list because there's a very famous salad from Burma, from Myanmar. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's the tea salad. And they serve a tea salad at Borderline. So I think that's what I'm going to have today, the traditional Burmese tea salad, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it when we get to the restaurant. And in addition to that, what am I going to have? Well, maybe I'll talk about that when I get to the restaurant. Some guest house adventures from the last few days. I moved to the Green Guest House, as many of you might know. I was staying here. Well, I can't really see it anymore, but that's the first hotel right behind me. But I moved around the corner to the Green Guest House, mainly to take advantage of a lower price that includes air conditioning, because I was suffering quite a bit from the heat here. I think we're moving out of the worst of the hot season, but it's still pretty hot, so I'm glad to have the air conditioning. But a couple of days ago, I was in my room, I was reading a book, and I went to adjust the air conditioner to turn the temperature up or down or whatever I was doing, and nothing would happen. The fan was still running, so it was still getting power, but it would not produce any cold air no matter what I did. You know, I turned it on, turned it off, played around with the remote control, changed all the settings I could think of, but no matter what I did, I could not get the cold air to start running. And I think this was in the evening when this happened, so I just let it go, and I spent that night running the ceiling fan, no air conditioning. And then the next day, I talked to the owner and manager of the Green Guest House, Krisana. I still don't really know how to say her name, Krisana. And I went to tell her that the air conditioner wasn't working. And I was expecting, of course, that she would, as soon as I gave her the message, she would go to my room and sort of check for herself, like take the remote control, see if she could turn it on, take a look at it. Maybe it had become unplugged or something, or maybe there was some very simple fix. But instead of doing that, literally the minute I told her that there was a problem with the air conditioner, she just whipped out her phone, talked to somebody, and then she turned to me and said that an electrician was coming. That evening, an electrician would come. So I thought, oh, okay. I thought, I almost wanted to suggest to her, it's like, don't you want to look for yourself? Like, I don't want to, trouble some poor electrician. He comes over and is like, oh, you dummy, you unplugged this, or, you did something else, or a fuse was tripped. I didn't know. But she seemed to know what she was doing, so she just called for an electrician. And then that evening, I can't remember what time it was, but yeah, a knock came on the door. It was Krisana with not really an electrician. This guy was an official air conditioner installation repair kind of guy. He had a uniform that was clearly from some kind of a official store that sold air conditioning units. So he came in and had an assistant with him and brought in a ladder. We had to move the bed out of the way. He had all of his tools and that sort of thing. And he worked for a little while on the air conditioner. And he announced that there was a problem with the control board. I guess air conditioners have motherboards just like laptops do. And my laptop died, and I was told, by the repair guys that the motherboard had failed. And he basically said that the motherboard of the air conditioner had failed and I guess needed to be replaced. So, all right. He couldn't do it then. This was just a checkup visit. So I spent another night, without the air conditioner, which was fine. It hasn't been as hot recently. We opened up some of the windows and I had the fan running. And they said that he would come back in the morning to fix the air conditioner. So I was still there in the morning. And then at some point, knock on the door the next morning, and this repairman, he was back with Krisana, with an assistant. And he came in and he had a new motherboard. It came in a box all wrapped up in bubble wrap, brand new apparently. And then he got up on a ladder and took out the old motherboard. Actually, I have a picture of the motherboard dangling out of the air conditioner. I'll stick it in right now. So that's the motherboard. That's what was replaced. So he did, and then they tested it. They had to let the unit power up and run for about 5 minutes. And after about 5 minutes, you could hear the thunk. That meant the air conditioner had shifted down into power mode, and it was now producing cold air. So replacing this control unit, this motherboard, had done the trick, and the air conditioner was working once more. So that was great. And I thought, okay, he's all done. He's going to put the cover back on, dust off his hands, put his tools away, and we're all good to go. But then he just left. He just disappeared. And Krisana said, oh, it's lunchtime. He's going to go have lunch, and then he will come back in an hour and then reassemble the air conditioner, and we're done. So I was like, okay. That's one thing, again, about my time in Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia. I've learned that nothing gets in the way of lunch. I mean, nothing at all. I'm a kind of guy that I'll often skip meals. I'll go an entire day without eating. And if I ever told any of my co-workers in Taiwan, for example, when I was living and working there, that I hadn't had lunch, oh boy, you'd think you'd announce that some huge tragedy had occurred. I mean, everybody would panic, and everybody would feel so bad for you that you did not have lunch. So I quickly learned never to tell people that. If anyone ever asks me, have you had lunch? Have you had dinner? I always say yes. I mean, whether I have had food or not, I just say, oh yeah, great lunch, great dinner. Because the thought of going without lunch in Asia is really kind of unheard of. But anyway, so yeah, it was lunchtime, and this guy had to go get lunch. And I thought, I don't know, I would have taken 5 extra minutes to put the cover back on and take out the ladder. But no, when it's time for lunch, it's time for lunch. So I don't know, a couple hours later, knock on the door again. Repairman is back with Krisana. But somehow in the middle of all this, apparently I had gotten my wires crossed, because this new motherboard that they'd plugged in, that was not going to be a permanent fix. That was just to give me air conditioning during the day. Apparently while he was having lunch, I guess. I don't know what changed, and I don't know what I misunderstood. But when he came back, from lunch after a couple hours, he came back with a whole new air conditioner. The whole thing, the interior unit that mounts on the wall and the big exterior unit, the actual air conditioning unit, they were going to rip out the old one and replace it with a brand new one. And I wish I could tell you why, I mean, as far as I could tell, up until that point, we'd already fixed it. All they had to do was replace that one piece, that motherboard, and it was working fine. Seemed to me to be a reasonable, cheap fix. But for some reason, they decided it was better to replace the whole air conditioning unit. And yeah, he and his assistant and then 2 other guys showed up eventually. And it kind of took the whole day and then on into the evening. I think they were finally done around 8 o'clock at night. I think the last guys finally left. I had been out, looking for food at that time. And then I came back and the air conditioner was in my room, operational. It was running and my room was nice and cool once more. So that was my room adventure this week. I now have a brand new air conditioner in my room. And we just have to wait and see how well this one works. So far it works fine. I mean, I've used it last night and today and everything seems great. Cools down the room just fine. We'll see if it uses more power than my current one or my old one. Hello. Hi. Because I've noticed that the power consumption of my room compared to what people have predicted is really quite low. So either my meter is being nice to me and not registering the full power draw, or this air conditioner is very efficient and doesn't draw much power. So we'll see what this new one is like. But the new one does have one very interesting quirk, and I think it might be better to show you what it is, because I have this thing about lights. When I'm in a room, I have trouble sleeping if there's lights. So in the previous video, I showed how I put a piece of cardboard over top of the power light of the old air conditioner. It's like a green light, a very, very bright light, and it would light up the whole night. I mean, the whole room was lit up a brilliant green because of this power light. And when this new air conditioner was turned on, it turns out it has this giant display. Like, it shows the temperature setting in big white letters, like a very bright light. And when I turned off the light in my room at night to go to sleep, it was like, good grief, I can practically read by that light. It was so bright, it lit up the whole room. So I thought, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. How am I going to cover all that up? But this unit has an interesting little trick, and I'll show it to you when I go back and I can show you what the air conditioner looks like. A couple other interesting things happened while we were all busy, involved in replacing this air conditioner. I felt like I was kind of part of the team, even though I wasn't doing anything. I tried to help by, lifting the old one and the new one up, but nobody really wanted my help. So I just stayed out of the way, was reading a book, and I watched all the activity around me. And one thing I noticed is that Krisana, like, a lot of people in her position, just has this compulsion to clean, And I noticed that when they took the old air conditioner off the wall directly behind the air conditioner, of course, had been covered up for years and years and years. So it had built up a pile of dirt and dust and some stains back there. But the repairman, just being a repairman and being a guy, he didn't think anything of it. He was going to take down the old one and then lock the new one into place. But of course, Krisana saw that as soon as you move something in the room, like we moved the bed so that he could gain access to the air conditioner. And as soon as you moved the bed, she was like, oh, I can now sweep the floor under the bed. And she's like sweeping the floor under the bed. Anything we moved in the room, she would start cleaning it. And as soon as she saw that exposed bit of wall, exposed for the first time in years, she was so excited. And she quickly climbed up on the ladder and got out a rag, and with a wet rag and soap and cleaned that whole part of the wall. And that led to the second kind of amusing story. because this cleaning mood extended to the windows, because we had to open the windows in order to get some airflow while the air conditioner was out of service. And so she instantly took her rag and started cleaning in and around the windows. And while she was doing that, a pretty small gecko ran in from outside and then zoomed up the wall, came into the room from outside. And Krisanna kind of, reacted to the gecko, not because she was worried about it, because she thought I would be worried about it. And she pointed at the gecko, and then she looked at me on the bed and said, You scared? You scared? She wanted to know if I was frightened of the gecko. And if I was, apparently, she would chase it out of the room or something. But I laughed and I smiled and says, no, I'm not afraid of geckos. In fact, I like geckos quite a bit. I find them to be quite interesting. So having a new gecko inside the room to join all the others that are already in there, that was fine with me. So I assured her that I was in fact a manly sort of man, and a small gecko in my room was not going to worry me. There's the familiar sign for the Borderline Cafe, Shop and Gallery. And the front, as you might know, is a handicraft store. And I've since learned that there's an art gallery up on the second floor. I might go there today, if it is open. Yeah, there it is there, stairs heading up. And then in the back, they have a tea garden. Ooh, what's going on over here? Ah, I know what this is. This is all mango juice or mango filling, and they're drying it in the sun. This is what Krisanna does at the guest house every day. And then when this is dry, they can cut it into strips and then roll it into tubes, and it makes a very tasty, sweet snack. Krisanna has been giving me some of those from time to time. So I guess they're doing the same thing here. Yeah, I keep opening my door to find fresh mangoes, sitting just outside. So she's keeping me well supplied with mangoes, which is nice. So here's the tea garden. And I think I'm going to sit in a different place this time. We'll see how it works out. And I have been sitting over here, in these large tables with all the books. But I thought I would try a different table. I wanted to try this one out just because it has, regular chairs, and it might be more comfortable to sit at a table with those chairs. So that's where I'm going to sit this time. Shoes have to come off to go up there into this hangout area.
One of your friends ordered for your food. Your friend from Malaysia.
Oh, really?
Yes, he sent an email to us, and then when you are here, he said he would like to order for you this.
Wow.
So you want to have it one time or two times? So I just make sure with you.
Okay.
He ordered for you a coffee and spring roll, and tea leaf, and potato curry.
Wow.
He already paid for it.
And he already paid?
Yeah.
That is amazing. These items, that was exactly what I was going to order.
Yeah.
Except, wow, spring rolls and French press. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So it's one time? You want to do two times also, we are okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking maybe all three might be too much.
Okay.
What do you think? I was thinking tea salad
Okay.
and potato curry.
Curry, okay.
Is that, you think, is a good combination?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Potato curry, crunchy, and this one curry. Yeah.
Okay. And then, but maybe also the...
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
French press coffee. So
This one, next time when you come.
yeah, the next time I can have the spring rolls, because it might be too much
Yeah.
for one.
That's why we share with you first.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Whoa. I assume you heard some of that. A friend of mine in Malaysia, Daryl, he has a YouTube channel, and he's a friend of mine now. We've met up several times in Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, he's very much into food, and he has a YouTube channel where he goes out in Thailand and in Malaysia. He likes to travel in Malaysia as well and tries out different food at different places, goes to markets and shoots videos of his experiences. So go check that out. I'll put a link in the description, Wandereats. He also did a short interview with me a while back, and that interview is still up on his channel, so that might be interesting. Anyway, I guess he contacted Borderline and he put in an order for me. He actually submitted a lunch or dinner order and said to them that the next time I show up, please, serve Mr. Douglas this food. And somehow he's already paid for it. So thank you very much, Daryl. This will be amazing. And great minds think alike, because you chose the Burmese tea salad, and that's the meal that I was planning on ordering today. So you read my mind. So here's the official menu with photos from Borderline. And this is the menu that you see on their website. I think it doesn't have their complete menu. It has most of their food, but they also have like their actual order form has quite a few more items on it. So this is not their complete menu, but it covers some of their more, the specialties that they make, or maybe the food that they're known for. Anyway, I just wanted to look up the salad and read you what they say about the Burmese tea salad. There it is there. Tea leaf salad, the local name or the Burmese name, Le Pathote. Le Pathote. Tote. I don't know how to say that. The most popular Burmese salad, which is the staple of local diet, steeped tea leaves. So these are tea leaves that have actually been, soaked in boiling water. Steeped tea leaves are mixed with cabbage, fried garlic, sesame seeds, chili, crispy fried beans, and peanuts. So that is what Daryl from Wandereats picked out for me. And he picked out the other meal that I had been looking at as well, which is interesting. Do they have it? Yeah, they have it on this menu. Where is it? The potato curry with flatbread. That's what he selected, right? I've already forgotten a little bit. I know he also chose spring rolls, but I discussed that with the waitress, and those three dishes together and the coffee might be too much for, one day. But again, today I haven't had any breakfast, so this lunch is my first meal of the day, and I'm very hungry. So at least two of these meals will be very good. And I was thinking of having the tea leaf salad and the potato curry flatbread. So I guess that is what I'll be having today. I had the Shan style potato salad last time, but that's different. This is a potato curry. And see if you can see the picture of it right there. It's the potato curry with flatbread. That ought to be very good. Oh, I need some water. When I was telling my air conditioning story, it actually took longer than the walk from my guest house to Borderline. So I walked right past Borderline and continued up the road for quite a distance just to finish telling the story. And then I turned around and came back. So now I'm a little bit overheated. So I got to cool down for a minute before my delicious lunch shows up. Okay, I'm gonna settle in, maybe get out my novel, do some reading before my food arrives, and when my traditional Burmese tea leaf salad shows up, I'll break out the GoPro and give you a close look at it. Just a quick follow-up note before my lunch gets here. I'm sitting here and I can see the opening to the kitchen over there, and I can smell the potato curry wafting my way. So I'm getting very excited about that. It smells so good. And again, I'm so hungry, so I think I will appreciate this lunch very much. And this is the book that I'm reading. I got it from the shelf here on one of my previous visits, called A Fine Balance by Rohinton Mistry. Rohinton Mistry, who is from India, I assume. Rohinton Mistry was born in Bombay and now lives near Toronto. His first novel, Such a Long Journey, was shortlisted for the Booker Prize and received the Governor General's Award and the Commonwealth Writers' Prize for Best Book of the Year. And A Fine Balance is his second novel, also set in India at a very tumultuous time, I think. I'm about that far into it, and I'm enjoying it very much. I'm also reading The Radiant Way by Margaret Drabble. So I kind of have those two books going at the same time, and that one is a bit denser, perhaps, in terms of its writing and the psychology of the characters involved. And this is a nice balance with that book because it's a lot more dialogue and a lot more of an interesting look, like at an exotic location in India. Oh, exotic for me. So yeah, I'm enjoying this book very much. A Fine Balance. Oh, and here comes my lunch. Look at this. French press coffee. Thank you. Oh, it smells so good. There is the potato curry. Oh, it looks like they have tofu in there as well as the curry, onions, and some vegetables. It smells so good. It's too bad you can't smell it through the camera. With flatbread. And I was really looking forward to the flatbread as well. I haven't had anything like this for a long time. And the most traditional local dish, the Burmese tea salad. Wow, that looks so interesting and it looks so good. French press coffee. I don't know how long I'm supposed to leave it steeping. Comes with a very nice cup and some sugar over there. So there you have it, my meal, thanks to Daryl at Wandereats. Oh. There it is. All right, let's see if it's all inside a camera frame there. Oh, I think it might be time to plunge my coffee. And that's always very exciting. French press. Smells good. I don't usually have sugar with coffee. Yeah, it's very good. But and very hot, which I really like. And it's served nice and hot. Yeah, like right out of the kettle. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, I think I have to try this tea leaf salad first, I think. That's really good. That's really tasty. Really strong peanut flavor because it has the peanuts. I'm not tasting a lot of the tea yet. Maybe that comes in a little bit later. The really interesting thing about this dish that strikes me right now is the texture. There are a lot of crunchy things in there. I don't know if you can hear me crunching away on the microphone. Very, very good. If you see me take 3 spoonfuls as quickly as I've done here and eat them, you know it's good, and you know I'm hungry. That was a good mouthful. I guess that's one of the great things about a dish like this, because there's so many ingredients, it's so varied. You kind of get something different every spoonful. That's very, very interesting. But it makes me wonder how a dish like this evolved. You know, I guess I can kind of see it if you're drinking a lot of tea and you have all these tea leaves and you like the flavor of tea. And then one day you're making dinner and you're making rice or you've got veggies and you just take the tea leaves and dump them in with the vegetables and you've invented tea leaf salad. What's that for? I'm like very excited about this. What are those? Chickpeas? Is that what's in there? There's something, not just the peanuts, but there's another nut in there. Cabbage, fried garlic, sesame seeds, chili, crispy fried beans. That's what I'm getting. A lot of crispy fried beans and then peanuts. Yeah, it's the fried beans that are really giving it its crunchy texture, and the peanuts, of course. One more spoonful before I move on to the potato curry. It's hard to stop. One more. Small one. So good. Even when I do get my passport, maybe I'll never leave Mae Sot. Someone left a comment on my last video saying something about not succumbing to the borderline syndrome, I think he called it. And I think he's referring to a syndrome among people like me who discover this place and then keep coming back and back and back and then never want to leave. It really is good coffee. Makes me ashamed of myself for being such a fan of instant coffee. That's what I usually drink on my own. And it tastes fine to me, but then when you have real coffee, then you can, then you know what you're missing if all you drink is Nescafe instant. I was just thinking that I may not have had the camera angled right. I don't know if my face was in the shot or not, but at least the food was certainly in the shot, I hope. All right, flatbread and potato curry. Let's go for the curry on its own, see what the flavor is. Also good. Has a very light curry flavor so far. But I have been bitten by that in the past, you know, like some Indian food or something. You take the first bite and then you say, ah, that's not so hot. What's everybody so worried about? But then 5 bites into it, then the heat starts to build. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it has a kind of a light curry flavor. Very good. A nice combination with the flatbread. The last time I was here, as I said, I had the Shan potato salad, and I was attracted to that dish because I hadn't had potatoes for so long, and I loved that potato flavor, and I'm getting that again here, but with the added benefit of curry and tofu. Very good, and a nice choices, Daryl. Very good. Though, of course, this is what I was going to choose for myself as well. So maybe you've taught me something, because I usually do not make good choices in restaurants. But this selection is very nice. It's hard to say what the standout dish was the last time, but I think I'd have to go with the potato salad. And from here, both very, very good. But this tea salad is definitely the standout dish. So good. I'm not leaning on the table. I'm trying not to do that because I have the GoPro up on a very high and kind of rickety tripod arrangement right now. And I'm worried if I put my elbows on the table, I'll send you like on an earthquake journey over there. One more spoonful of each before I turn off the camera and enjoy my meal. So good. And potatoes to go with it. And don't forget about the flatbread. I guess you could eat the curry, you know, by hand with the flatbread. That's probably what you're meant to do. And I'm sticking with the utensil for now. All right, I'm gonna turn the GoPro off and enjoy the rest of my meal, and I'll touch base with you later on when it's all done. Ooh, well, that was lunch. Lunch is over. Very good. And my plates can give you an idea of just how good it was. Nothing left on those plates, not even a little bit of curry sauce. I made sure to scoop it all up with the last of my flatbread. Very, very tasty. So, yeah, coffee was good too. It stayed hot in that Bodum kind of press for a long time. I got pretty much 3 cups of coffee out of that container, and that was really good. It was nice to have coffee, you know, sort of before and during the meal, and then have enough coffee to have another cup, you know, when the meal was over. So that worked out really well. So, time to head back out into the city. Oh yeah, I promised to show you my new air conditioner, so I'll do that when I get back to the guest house. And if any other ideas pop into my head on my way there, I'll pop back in and tell you what's on my mind. But for now, next time you might see me, I might be back at the guest house, and I'll give you a tour of my new air conditioner. I also have to get water again from the water dispenser near the bus station, but I took a video of that last time, so I don't need to do that again today. But yeah, that'll be my next errand today, getting some water. All right, time to leave Borderline. Yeah, and I still have, from what Daryl ordered me, I still have my order here. Next time I come back, I can have the spring rolls, which was a part of his order on my behalf. And I'll have to see what I combine the spring rolls with. All right, time to go. Well, here I am back at my guest house, and it turns out the old air conditioner is still here in pieces. There it is there. This is the part that was inside the room, and that is the kind of control board, what I was calling the motherboard. You can see it looks kind of like a motherboard out of a laptop, and that appeared to be the part that was defective, but instead of just replacing that, they brought in a brand new air conditioner, and that's the box that the parts came in. I think they put them into a couple of different rooms, because I see some other old air conditioners out there. So maybe they took advantage of replacing mine, you know, to replace a couple of them. And there it is there, the brand new air conditioner. And the trick that I wanted to show you had to do with this new power display, that light there. It may not look like much now, but at night, in the dark, when you turn off all the other lights, these numbers light up the whole room. It's like, it's really, really bright. But then I was fiddling around with the menu, and I noticed that there was an item there called display. And if I select display, watch what happens. It goes out. That delighted me so much when I saw that. I just love things that are organized well. And if you're going to have a very bright display, you might as well have a remote that can turn it on. And when you want to go to sleep at night, you turn it off. Isn't that the most amazing thing? So I'm very happy with my new air conditioner. And we'll just have to wait a day or two to see how much power it draws, you know. So that's the end of the video for today, I think. Another lunch at Borderline. Burmese tea salad and potato curry, flatbread, and French press coffee. So all of that and a new air conditioner. Days don't get much better than that. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow will be even better, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow in another video.